gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio with your hosts, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Peña, the always opinionated Paris Lily, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
Welcome to Gamertag Radio, episode 1251. This is your host, Danny Peña, and welcome everyone. We have two special episodes for this week. The first one, it's all about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I got to play the game for 4 hours and also recorded a hands-on impressions with different members from the community that were also at the event, and also recorded an interview with Respawn all about the game. So hit me up, fanmail at Gamertag Radio, or give us a call, 786-273-7GTR. That's 786-273-7GTR. Or you could go right now to speakpipe.com/Gamertag Radio and post your feedback. Let me know your thoughts about this episode. And it was great. I had an amazing time. Thanks to EA and also Respawn for inviting me to attend this event. There was people from all around the world, and there was multiple sessions. And the best thing about the event, in my opinion, was we sat there. There was no restrictions. They were like, you could play whatever you want, go for it. 4-hour demo. You could do side quests. You could do the main campaign, whatever you want. You could even stay the whole time just discovering items and customizing your character. It was amazing. I had a great time. And I think, personally, you're going to hear more during our roundtable discussion. I think this is a better game. Much better than the first one. And I love the first one. I think the last one was iconic, a classic game from Respawn. And again, this one's going to be even better. So, but first, head over to gamertagradio.com. Listen to our past episodes. You could also find us on any podcast app. All you have to do is just search for Gamertag Radio. We're there. Just subscribe, follow us, and also post a review. And like I said earlier, if you would like to be part of our fan mail discussion, here's how you could contact us.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, if you listen to this, I know people have been asking, hey, Danny, there's going to be videos or what for this? You can follow me on Twitter. I'm always posting, content, gameplay, and everything there. But also on my YouTube channel, just search for Danny Peña. You can find it there. But there, I posted also the video interview there and with Respawn. And let me know your thoughts. I'm very curious to hear what people think about the conversation I had with Respawn and everything. So, and also you can listen to the audio version here on this podcast. So we're gonna play first the roundtable discussion, and after that, I'm going to play the interview that I had with Respawn, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right, so we'll be right back after this. Enjoy.
You're listening to Gamertag Radio.
All right, so we're live here in Hollywood, and we just got to check out Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and I have multiple guests here. I haven't done this multiple guests in a while, in a long time.
Sir.
And actually, the person I'm about to talk right now, we haven't recorded, I think, in over a decade. So welcome back, DJ Knight.
Been a minute, man. Appreciate you for having me back, my dude.
Yeah,
it's always been a pleasure.
Actually, not close to the.
Oh, my bad.
Record.
It's literally just like on the back.
Right there. You go. It's all good.
Sorry.
And for those who don't know, we actually recorded a podcast during the Jaws ride, Universal Studios
Classic.
Orlando.
Yes.
Classic. We'll talk about that in the future. But you want to pass the mic? Next person? Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Danny?
Present yourself. Tell us what you do.
Yeah, it's Jeff Haynes from Common Sense Media. I've been in the industry a long time, like more than a minute.
All right.
More than a minute.
All right. And he still looks like 20. All right. So we have here multiple guests here. Next.
Hey, Steve Saylor, aka Blind Gamer Steve, accessibility advocate and content creator, and first time us doing content together, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is good. And then we also have.
It's good. It's Frank Ellaby, aka Technique, actor, voice actor, and host. It's a pleasure being here. Finally get to do something with you, Danny. About dang time.
Yeah.
And all these other people here. Cool as hell.
Yeah, man. So this is going to be just a couple minutes here. I just want to get your thoughts about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. For me, personally, bigger game, so many things to do, very polished. The demo that we got to play. Actually, I finished the demo, so I don't know how many of you guys completed the demo. So I had to do an interview. So it was like maybe like 15, 20 minutes, right? So I came back and I finished the demo right after that. So actually one of the guys, EA reps, went on stage, and once he went on stage, that's when I finished the whole demo. So, but story is really good. I think this is going to be even better than the first one, in my opinion.
I know it's going to be even better than the first one, and part of it's because of the scale and the scope of the game. I mean,
Yes.
For one thing, just the demo by itself, you could see the sense of verticality is so much larger than the original.
Sure.
There was definitely the puzzle scaling elements where you'd have to go multiple different levels just to climb different areas and to access different places to solve different things, especially when it came to some of the Jedi challenges and things like that. This one, just the scale of the vistas from moving from one cliff to the next, going in and out of different locations, going underground over to other platforms, it's ridiculous. And that was only just the first overland on part of the main quest. We're not even talking about the challenges or the other rooms. It's huge.
100%, yeah. I think it's definitely going to be much more bigger planets, at least definitely for that first one. And you're right, like there's a lot more to it than just the first game alone. And I think for me, I didn't get a chance to finish demo because I was basically spending the first hour just looking through all the settings and all the accessibility that's in there. And I would even say from accessibility perspective, this is way more accessible than the first game. They added a ton of accessibility in this. It's not going to be fully accessible, at least from what we were able to see. We don't know what's going to be in the final version of the game, but for what I was able to play with and try out, this is definitely going to be a lot more accessible to more disabled players. And yeah, I think this is the game to do it. Sure, it would be great to be able to go back and play Jedi Fallen Order for this one, but I think this one, I think you're right. I think it's definitely going to be better than Fallen Order for sure.
Can I ask a quick question to you?
Yeah.
Was it as compared to the first one? How different it is when it comes to accessibility for this one and the first one?
Oh yeah, like in the first one, there really wasn't a lot of accessibility in there. Basically, there was mainly like difficulty options, and like in a Souls-like game, there's not usually that in there. So Jedi's Fallen Order was the first one to add those difficulty options. But then there was very basic stuff. Like there was subtitle options, which was great. But it came out at a time when accessibility was still new, so a lot of developers weren't really pushing a lot for that. But with this one, you've got you can actually slow down the game, so that if you're in combat and you find that it's a little bit too quick for you, you can actually slow down the game to like 90%. Like it's amazing just for that alone. There's a lot of accessibility shortcuts. There's navigation assist. There's a lot more subtitle options, a lot more caption, like full captions for sound effects and for background conversations. There is a ton of stuff that is going to make this wide open for disabled players.
Good to know. DJ Knight.
Yes, sir.
What about you, man? Your thoughts about the game?
I love what I've been seeing thus far. I feel like it's way more open. Like, I apologize for stealing it because I heard Tech make the point, but like I felt it when I was playing. It's just so open that there's so much capability to do more exploration, and that's my kind of thing, right? Like, you give me a game where I can explore and go off of the main path, trust that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Like, if the minute that I know, the game is trying to send me that direction, okay, what's over here though? Like, what did these developers put in? What did these designers put in as far as random little trinkets, random little things that might help you later that you don't realize it yet? Maybe there's some enemies that might help you get some XP. But somebody hit something. I want to touch it. I want to see what it's about. I'm trying to find it because, yes, I like treasures. And with as open as it is, just in the time where I was passing the path, like somebody came up and was like, hey, if you want to know where to go, I can help you. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I like this part. This is the part that works for me. This is my favorite thing to do. So I tried to play it as if I was playing it on stream, but also more so than that, because on stream I'm gonna get somebody in chat like, "Hey, streamer, play the game." So like I get to ignore that part and just like do the exploration that I've been dying to do, because it's a Jedi game in a world that is new. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I feel like I could ramble on. So what about you, Tech or Technique?
I think the big word for this one versus the first one is world building. In the first one, we didn't really get much world building, right? So it was a straight narrow path. You knew Kyle. You had your main protagonist and your support roles. But now we have like a world. We have people to interact with, a world to feel about. Kyle feels alive now. You know, he doesn't feel like an NPC that we're playing. He feels more like he belongs in the universe of Star Wars. We got a lot of High Republic lore in there, which is a big thing that's become, canon. We finally have a canon direction, so now we don't feel lost in saying, where is this in the timeline? We actually know. Grievous was mentioned. The old High Republic tech is finally in. We get to see it visually. And again, being able to customize Kyle to your fitting, he's not true light side. He's gray because he never went through the actual trials. So there's a lot of things that we have that's building around this world to make this character come alive. And I think that's huge. And I had a little moment to talk to one of the developers. And I said, man, you went from a very narrow path, which you could still kind of get lost in the first one, to a completely open world now that has substance. It's like you're not in an RPG where you just say, I'm just going to go the opposite path just to look for some treasure. You're like, there's something here that has a lore piece, and it says if you explore more, you'll learn more about this piece. So now we have substance. So this game is definitely leading the way, especially in 2023. We had that problem where when are we going to get next gen, not only visually, but storytelling-wise and world-building-wise.
So the one thing that I wanted to also talk about is how fluid the combat feels, because that kind of harkens back to my days being freelance, working on like Inside Kung Fu and a lot of martial arts things.
Yeah.
Cal feels so much more flexible and fluid as a Jedi, and part of it's because of the stances, because you have the single blade, the dual blade, the dual saber wielding.
I'm gonna keep it real. I like the single blade. Yeah, I did dual. It was that and dual. I tried double, maybe because I needed to upgrade more my skills. It was a little bit slow compared to the other ones for me.
Which one? You talking about the double-sided?
Yeah, the
double-sided is nice, but like there's an upgrade that you get to where you can just continue hitting X to just continue the combo.
Oh, see,
and even in the video,
like
it's like one of the first upgrades you get for the dual-sided blade. That it
everything?
Literally you just like it lets you extend combos, and I think it's called something like infinite combo. Like you just get to continue wrecking it.
I didn't know that.
It's
Okay,
glorious.
I was very focused on the single and dual blade.
But
the whole
you know
time.
what part of it is that like if you're doing single was really for like duels or like if you've cleared out a lot of people and it's one-on-one.
Yeah.
Like one of the boss fights that you have a little bit further on in part of the town area. That's where you really want to look at something like your single. If you're doing your duel, you're trying to get a little bit more area control, but you're also trying to get like a space around you. If you're doing the dual-sided saber, that's when you're either wading into combat, you're deflecting blasts that are coming at you, or you're trying to literally start your combo, and you can upgrade that so there's a dive that automatically closes the distance. So you turn into a spinning buzzsaw of lightsaber speed and just attitude, and then you turn that into another combo. You switch your stance up, the combo just keeps going. It's ridiculous.
My bad. Don't sleep on. We'll just call it two sabers, okay? That's just so we don't mix up dual and double. Two saber. Don't sleep on it. It was harder to upgrade, but once you get shatter from the ranker, you can put pressure on people so much you break their shields instantly.
What's wild is that I got that ranker down to like 18%.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do any of the storyline. I got to helping, and
No spoilers.
that's what I'm trying to like. I was trying to like, how do I phrase this without saying words?
Yeah.
I got to help a person, and then got a thing.
Exactly.
Right? I went through a place, I helped the person, I got a thing, and then somebody else said some stuff, and then I was like, all right, cool, let me go back to this ranker fight though.
Yeah.
Like, so I got it down low, and then I found out after the fact. Just like, this is not a spoiler because you push and pull all the time. I did not think the pull something to me
Right.
to help me do a
Right.
thing, and I was very sad that I hadn't
It was
done
easy
that.
to miss, though. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That was very. No,
I gotta get
it's
to
very
your-
circumspect. Very circumspect.
I like that, non-spoiler. I love that, DJ.
Bro, you know how we do. You know how long I've been at this.
Yeah, I know.
I know how to not spoil.
I know.
But that's kind of the thing, is that because there's so many it's so flexible when it comes to the dual wield or the double blade or the single blade, on top of all the other skills where it's just boosting your health, boosting your force, the other items that are out there in the world with the force crystals. Or now here's one, I don't even know if you possibly picked up on this one, Danny.
Okay.
There was a secret under a waterfall that happened to be a section. It was like something like that. Did any of y'all run into this?
No.
It was yeah.
I seen the waterfall, but
Yeah.
I just kept on walking.
This is one of those things where it was just like, it was crazy because I was walking in going, okay, well, there were health crystals. I saw that boosts your health.
Yeah.
Maybe this is gonna boost the force. And then you go into it, and it's a whole different time demo section, but it's all these other things, and it tests your jumping and your movement skills and all these other things. And it's like, wait a second, you have all of a sudden now a new skill challenge on top of the Jedi challenge, on top of the combat challenge, on top of, really? And that's just hidden out in the world, waiting for you to find it and explore it. That's incredible.
One quick thing I do have to say, I love how the demo started, which the game is going to be like that, the tutorial in the beginning. Because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played the first one in so long, so I was like nervous. Like, man, I hope I don't forget the moves, but it helped you out and everything. So.
They made it specific for the demo. Yeah, one thing I will say, like the mechanics in the game are like there's a lot more to it. Like basically the main planet that we got to play is basically like your hub world, and you actually at some point you actually be able to upgrade the town that you're in and send in people to like NPCs that you encounter to kind of help upgrade the town so that you can actually be able to like get better stuff and better perks and skill trees and stuff like that. But also as well, I should say, like because obviously a lot of people have compared like Jedi Fallen Order to a Souls-like, and it is very much that. But what I love about it is that they made it a lot more approachable, including to the point they actually added a brand new difficulty called Jedi Padawan. Because in the first game, you had story mode, you had Jedi Knight, Master, and then Skill Master. Like you had like that was it. But they found that with I actually talked to the devs, and they said the story mode and Jedi Knight there was too much of a skill gap, so they added in Jedi Padawan. So basically, it's kind of like a little bit step above baby ass baby mode. But it was a way to be able to make the combat seem fluid, that if you were interested in trying out sort of a parry and dodge system that a lot of fans of Souls like and can enjoy, you can actually be able to jump in and still feel like that you are a badass Jedi Knight, which is really, really great.
So what I just heard is they added in a medium mode.
It's medium mode, yeah. Also,
love it.
I should mention, they finally upgraded the map. The map
looks
not
great.
terrible anymore.
I
Cool.
didn't dislike the map in the first place.
Love the map. Love the map.
The map is always, you give me a map that is, I feel like now we're starting to get into the next or the new generation of like not just a flat 2D map. It adds so much to it because like you get to at a glance know, oh, you can't get through there.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why can't you get through there? And then you find something that's like, oh, I can use this to do this over here. Maybe that's what I needed over there too.
Yeah, and that was one of the first things that they mentioned. Check out the map. Check out the map. Because a lot of us, we were very frustrated in the first game when it comes to the map. A lot of walking, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
But I find it like this one is a lot easier, plus fast travel. Thank God.
Yes,
Oh my God,
yes.
that helped out a lot.
That's huge.
Too.
And the thing that I also want to comment on what Steve said, which makes me a little concerned, is like the place that we were playing with has this kind of hub aspect that you start building up and you can send people to. It makes me concerned though that as the game goes farther on, you start attracting more people. Are you going to start attracting attention? Because all of a sudden, you now have a base on a planet that is starting to upgrade its shops. It's starting to gather people from wherever you happen to be in the galaxy. That sounds like a target. Maybe for the Empire to come and check out. Just all of a sudden, people just start coming to this planet just out of nowhere? I mean, I'm worried about that as a possible plot point.
DJ wants to say something about that.
Fam, first things first, the baddie looks like he's gonna be a problem, which is great because you need a big bad in a game to get you to actually make moves. Second, guaranteed, fam, guaranteed. There's no way in this game, like it was even hinted at in the conversations, like, hey man, you know,
Don't draw attention.
you gotta be low key, man.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to not spoil the phrasing, but like once you get the game and once you play 2 hours in, you'll hear the phrasing that I'm talking about. Fans was like, hey, you gotta keep it low key. You can't keep it low key.
No.
If you are sending people to this planet, guaranteed the baddie is gonna be there with bells on and some fancy rhinestone red shoes. Talking about there's no place like your home.
I don't.
Well, it's also because there's other people that are around, and it's like, oh, Jedi, and it's like, dude, you know, as soon as somebody comes out, or the next stormtrooper rolls around, it's like, how much you want to pay me for some information?
I mean, let's be real. I'm smelling some Anakin on him. Okay.
You say what?
I'm smelling some Anakin on the cow because let's be real. When he was sitting at the counter, he was all cowboyed up, you know, leaning with the swagger, throwing around Jedi, and like you saw him like go from like loyal knight to like, I'm great, baby. Like if you want to fight, we can fight. And I gave you one chance, and he's merciless right now. And when people are trying to give him advice, he's kind of pushed back on it. So I'm a little, you know, I'm feeling something. Then I saw something which I won't spoil.
Yeah. You say there's basically potentially like new combat mechanic.
Beyond
Would
that,
say that? Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Brand new, yes.
I'm gonna say a thing that I feel like may be seen as controversial, but I
Okay.
feel like it's perfectly fitting. There has not been a Jedi in Star Wars lore that could be Mando-like in any way that people would be cool with. But now we have a new Jedi. That's a big enough deal that he out here. So the possibility to get somebody who's like borderline, like on the like Purple Blade style, like I'm gonna ride the line if need be.
I mean,
I'm leaning toward it being Cal.
I mean, there's no, like, of course, it totally makes sense that the person who they have cast as Cal, the fact that he's already in Hollywood in of itself, I could totally see this popping, like him popping up in some sort of Star Wars live action.
I'm expecting it.
We have to wrap it up. We have to wrap it up because we have to go to another event.
Yerp.
We're ready to party and all that stuff. But
Yerp.
thank you guys. One more time, promote your stuff right now. Go ahead, DJ Knight.
I'm DJ Knight. Y'all may have remembered me from previous podcasts such as the Gamerscore Blog 06, where we met and we did a show, and then, you know, the Universal Jaws ride where the dude that was calling a ride started dropping random Bioshock facts. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Insta, TikTok, DJ Knight, DEEJAY, Medieval Knight. That's me. Y'all are awesome. Appreciate you for sticking around with the fan for so long. I'm a shout out.
I'm Steve Saylor, aka Blind Gamer Steve. That's where you can be able to find me on Twitch. I'm also at Steve Saylor on Twitter and YouTube. And also check out a brand new podcast presented by Xbox Canada called the Xbox Passport, all about Xbox Game Pass, the best value in gaming. And you can be able to check that out. And thanks, Danny, for having me on for the first time on GTR.
Yeah, I'm Jeff Haynes, senior editor, head of games and media, head of games and digital at Common Sense Media, and you know, I'm usually a lot more behind the scenes, but doing a lot more of the Let's Plays on Comcast, Cox, and a couple other cable stations and partners possibly coming up. So just keep it locked on our site, commonsensemedia.org.
And I'm Frank Ellaby, or Technique. Spell it like you spell technique. Leave off the U and the E. Don't sweat the technique. You know the songs. So anyway, you can find me on twitch.tv/technique. Again, and on Twitter, unfortunately, it's Technique TV. How it is. But anyway, upcoming stuff. You hear my voices in some games and some shows. So keep it locked for 23.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Hey guys, thank you so much, man. I'm glad that we got a chance to talk about the game and everything, and hopefully we can do this again in the future.
Thank you,
All
Danny.
right,
Thank
let's
you.
Go.
This is Gamertag Radio. Voicemail at 786-2737-GTR.
Yeah, I'm Brandon Kelch. I'm the technical design director on the game. So I lead the tech design team, and we work on some of the more complicated design systems like the spaceship and lightsaber customization and the skill tree, stuff like that.
And you?
My name is Danish Syed. I'm the principal UI visual designer. So I do lots of UI in the game, lots of visual design, like things like the skill tree, customization, the lightsaber customization, things like that.
Have you guys also worked on the first one or no?
Yeah, I worked on Fallen Order. I've been on the team since day one of Fallen Order. So
Matt, so how's it been like the process of adding new stuff in the game from the first one and to this one?
It's been really, really fun, really exciting. The first project, I mean, was also amazing. Like, I love that game and I loved working on it, but that was definitely a case of like building the plane while you're trying to fly it. Like, we didn't have anything. We had to build everything from scratch. Like, there was no world, there was no character, there was nothing. I think the first thing that I knew we had in the game was a lightsaber. But like, that was it. It was like, blue sky. There was just so much to figure out. And so then like, you run so short on like time to flesh that stuff out. And so this project was really exciting that like we were really happy with a lot of the design from the first game, and so we had a really good groundwork to start from and build upon. Like, we kept all the same pillars from the first game, like kept agile exploration and thoughtful combat and Star Wars story, and then we added on like customization as a pillar, and we like doubled down on that. And so that's been really satisfying.
I didn't work on the first game. I came in early on the development of this game, and so I played the first one as a fan, just like yourself, and I loved it. And I remember thinking, like, since it was like a new franchise, like, wow, this is so cool. Like, I can't imagine what they're going to do with the next one. And so I had no idea that I'd be working on it.
That is wild, right?
Yeah, it's wild. And I've been really blown away by, like, even just starting early on, like the scope of it, how big everything got, that was the coolest thing.
I mean, what are the new things we're going to get to see in this game? Because that's a lot, right? Compared to the first one. So
yeah, I mean, I think that, like I was saying, everything is expanded. So it's not a full open world game, but Kobo Planet, as you've seen, is like enormous. And there's tons of opportunity for exploration and finding side content, way more than the first game. Customization is another thing that's, again, greatly expanded. That's a huge pillar, like Brendan was saying. So that's the kind of stuff you can see. And of course, more amazing story.
And now Cal has a nice little beard, right?
Yeah. So lots of different kinds of beards you can choose. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, really? I didn't know that. So what
those are part of the cosmetic items that you can unlock.
Oh, tell us a little bit about that.
Hairstyles and beards, yeah. So
that's cool. And also you could customize BD1.
Yes.
Because I noticed from far away, I was like, wait, is that a pink BD1? Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's
face
really
plates and body types and ears and legs, like all of it, color schemes. You can even for the lightsabers, there's like wear and tear, like how polished is it, how ancient does it look, different components and materials, and you can unlock more.
Yeah,
cool. I mean, the customization in the last game was really kind of like thrown in very late in the project. It was kind of like, oh, we need more stuff for chests, and like, oh, we can just change the color of the poncho, and fans really responded to that a lot, very positively. And so
that's cool.
We double, triple down on that. Like, you should really be able to build out like your own custom cow that you really like are excited about, and kind of like, and your own custom BD and your own custom lightsaber, and like feel like you've really chosen the character that like you want to play.
I mean, there's going to be people that have never played the first one. Is it okay to start right away from the second one?
Yeah, it's
or
okay.
What?
I mean, I don't recommend it. The first game is still really good. Go play it.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic. Yeah.
It's still really good. It's great on next gen, on current Gen 5 hardware too. So I'd go play it. But it's still gonna work for sure. Like, we still take you through, like, Cal's still gaining new abilities throughout this game as well. So you're still gonna get a nice progression. And you're still gonna like connect to the story. Like, it works both ways. You're just gonna get more out of it if you played the first one.
Yeah, see, the first one, he was learning everything. Now he already knows a lot more.
Yeah.
So is he still gonna be discovering new skills also, or what?
Yeah. We're not like resetting him. It's not like you're going back to like, Padawan style. Like, Cal's a Jedi Knight. Like, and we wanted to like retain that progression that you had from Fallen Order, and this game's even like further in the future, right? We've had like a 5-year break, and so Cal's progressed as well, and like, but yeah, he's gonna continue to grow on this journey. We're not gonna just like that's like part of the gameplay is unlocking new skills, unlocking new abilities, and yeah, Cal's going to do that again this time.
What was your favorite thing about working on this project for you guys personally?
It's a tough one. I mean, for me, it's just this was my first Star Wars game. Like working in that sort of IP was really exciting, and working with Lucasfilm was really exciting. And I love, like, I guess to one specific example is I love working on BD's visors. When the binoculars, when you look through BD, like that was a ton of fun. If you change the faceplate, it changes to a new visor every time. So there's a bunch of them you can find, customize. Like I mentioned before, the stuff I worked on, I really love an interface that's like immersive and not just menus and text, something that you feel like you're part of the character, you're in the world. Like in the customization screen, when you see those shards around you of like the different hairstyles and different costume pieces, it's the inspiration was Rey in The Last Jedi, where she's seeing in an infinite mirror of herself and different possibilities. So Cal is meditating, he's in this mind palace, this void, and he's imagining other versions of himself. And so that's how we depicted it in the game. So something like that I'm really proud of, where we can kind of take the UI and make it actually like narrative.
Yeah, and for you?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm really excited about the lightsaber stances. They just have like such a personality to them. And I also like really championed only equipping 2 at once. Because it's a very meaningful and it's a very meaningful player choice, and so it's I think it creates really interesting gameplay that you have to make this conscious decision on like what 2 stances you're about, and then also we have skill trees dedicated to them, so you really like invest in that play style, and it also opens up a bunch of opportunities for replayability where you can change it up, you can reset it, right? Yeah, it changes the whole game. So.
Yeah, when I first started, I'm like, man, I don't know which style should I use, like the dual one, just one lightsaber. It took me a while to figure it out. As of right now, I like using both as a dual, right? For you guys, like what is it, the style that you like personally for you?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, my favorite is I gotta go with the newest ones, like Crossguard and Blaster. Those are
and why is that? Why is that?
Probably
it's just the style.
New.
Yeah. And it looks cool too. Yeah,
they're very cool. But they are like, they're also, not only are they the newest, but they feel like they're the most. It's kind of it's like the furthest at the edge the design is pushing things, because the single like lightsaber is just so well established. In the Star Wars universe, and even like the staff blade, like those are just very well established, and so, which is great. I mean, there's tons of stuff to draw inspiration from, like tons to work with, and like those stances are like so well fleshed out. But the new ones are like just really exciting, because it's just like feels cool. Like it's a lot more off the wall, and there's just like a lot more newness to them.
Yeah, and for you,
same thing. The dual, the dual blade. It's so like fast and like aggressive. I love that. Crossguard also. I remember like reading how George Lucas designed the lightsaber. Like the initial design for it, his thought was it was really heavy, and like it would, it'd be like this samurai, and eventually the movies went away from that. But the Crossguard is almost like bringing that back, of like this very heavy kind of like stoic, deliberate kind of stance, which feels so cool when you're using it.
I'm gonna go way back. I remember when I first heard that you guys were working on the first game, I was like, wow, but Respawn they're known for Timefall, which is one of my all-time favorites, especially Part 2, and Apex. And I didn't know it was gonna be like a first person, third person, for you guys, you worked on the first one. The pressure of just like working on the Star Wars games, because man, the fans are very hardcore, very picky, and they love the first one. I think personally they're gonna love the second one for sure.
Yeah, I hope so.
So far it's really good. I've been having a blast with it, man. But
That's
go
good.
ahead.
Yeah, I really hope they really like it. It's talking about like the third person thing. I mean, that was something we knew we wanted from day one. I mean, a lot of us, Stig and myself and some of the other design directors, we all worked on God of War with him, so that was kind of our
another
bread
classic.
And butter. That's our bread and butter. So like we gotta. It's not like it came out of left field. It was left field for Respawn for sure, and and there was a lot to figure out there. Like I said, to build it from scratch. But for a lot of the core team, it wasn't like our first go at it. We do have some like experience on that stuff, and yeah, I mean, I think, in the beginning, honestly, it was a lot more excitement than pressure. Like, we were
really?
just,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
For me, I'll be like sweating, man. Like the pressure.
No.
I mean, I get excited working on
Yeah.
a big project like that, but it's just like, wow, because it's Star Wars, man.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
know,
a
but I
very
think I was
well-known
too
IP.
excited. Maybe I was too young and naive and excited about the lightsaber and the
Yeah.
spaceship and planet travel and stuff like that. So the pressure doesn't really. I guess it just didn't set in until it was like too late, and then it was
Yeah.
like, oh well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And I mean, it's been really rewarding, like the fan reaction to it. Like when that game came out, like there's so many people that I've like met in person or like seen online that like say it's their favorite game of all time, and like it's totally genuine. I totally believe them, and it's just so rewarding. It's so fun and satisfying, and so yeah, we're jazzed. I mean, we're really excited about this one. It's just so much bigger and better in so many ways, so I'm excited.
What is it that, as a fan of Star Wars, what is it that you want people to know about this game that's so important to you? As a
That's a big question.
is it the combat? Is it the story? Is it just the environment? What is it like?
Yeah, well, as a game, I think the combat is the thing that I love the most. It's just so much fun. As a kind of bigger Star Wars thing, I think what's really interesting about it is the kind of you have this world that exists, this universe that exists, and so this game takes place between Episode 3 and Episode 4, and people know that like it's the Empire. The Empire is only getting stronger, and things are looking bad and grim, and so like. In that world, what stories are there to tell? And so Cal has a really, engaging, interesting story in that kind of universe. And so I think that's really exciting to explore like the different stories that exist within that time.
I'll tell you this, no spoilers, I'm not going to mention, but man, let me tell you, when I finished the first one, my mouth dropped because of the crazy twists, surprises. I was very surprised about that. We're gonna see a lot of those in this game because if this is bigger and better, there has to be a lot of that.
We got moments like that again.
Oh, okay.
That's part of the formula.
I'm all in.
We got that. Yeah.
Definitely, man. Yeah. Okay. We have 2 more minutes. Okay. All right. So, for you guys, your favorite character from the first one, the second one. So far,
that's a good question.
And we'll go from there.
It's got to be Greasy Money, maybe.
Grease is he's one of my favorites. I just love his style.
Yeah.
And
now he's got the new look, the new hair,
I noticed is that like a little chain?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, he's got his cantina, like he's got his he's like the bar owner now, and like he's got that's my favorite character for sure.
And for you, and one more question.
I gotta go with Grease. Same, but as far as this game, it's all about Turgle.
Okay, all right.
Let's start the Turgle hype right now.
Right now, all right, cool, man. Awesome. Well, I just want to say, man, thank you so much for you and the team that invited me here, man. I've been having a blast with the game. I can't wait to play the full version of this, man, the retail version. And I think the fans are gonna love this for sure. Great job, you guys, man.
Thanks.
All right, cool. Thank you. Awesome.
This is Gamertag Radio.
All right, everyone, that was the roundtable discussion and also interview with Respawn all about Star Wars Jedi Survivors. Again, you could go right now on my Twitter, on Twitter or any social media out there. Just search for Godfrey or Danny Peña and let me know your thoughts. Also, you could contact us through here, Gamertag Radio. Email us, fanma@gamertagradio.com. And yeah, once again, I want to say thank you to EA and also Respawn for inviting me. I am so hyped to play this game that's coming out in the next couple weeks. I can't wait. Can't wait to play this. So, all right, everyone. Thank you for listening to episode 1251. We'll be back this Thursday. We have another special episode. Just stay tuned for that. Lots of great content coming up. All this and more here only on Gamertag Radio. Until next time, we're out.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.